Hi, I'm Meg from Flow Financial Planning. Welcome to my not even remotely monthly video. Today, let us talk about restricted stock units, specifically your RSUs that vest and turn into company stock and then just sit in your brokerage account. Hopefully gaining in value, maybe losing value, but mostly just hanging about waiting for you to figure out what to do with them. I want to talk about those specific kinds of RSUs. And the reason I want to talk about it is that twice in the last few weeks, I've had clients, one at Amazon, one at Google, mention that they're not selling their company stock that they get from their RSUs vesting. And it's not because they're particularly attached to the stock. It's not because they think, the stock's going to do really well. It's because they don't know what to do with the cash if they do sell. And inertia just wins, which it often does. And I have to be honest, I had not thought of that reason before for keeping stock, but it makes perfect sense, right? If you have an immediate, obvious need for money, you need to make a house repair, you're going on an awesome trip, you want to buy a car, that's sort of an obvious motivation to sell your RSUs because you need the cash for the specific thing right now. But if you don't have that one clear, specific reason for money, then what should you do with your RSUs? Why would you sell them? What would you do? What would the purpose be of the cash that you'd get from selling that company stock? And I'd like to first at least acknowledge that if you are in that position, how amazing is that, right? This RSU money is all gravy to you. You're already living life within the confines of your salary. Maybe you're even maxing out your 401k within your salary, and the RSUs are just above and beyond any of that. So yay for you. This is a great position to be in. Secondly, I want to at least touch on two sort of low-hanging fruit uses for the money, just to make sure if you've got these situations, sell your RSUs and use the cash for these. One, do you have a big enough emergency fund? If you don't have an emergency fund that can see you through, probably 6 months of expenses, sell your RSUs, put the cash in an emergency fund, and don't touch it unless there's an emergency. The second thing is high interest debt. Usually this is credit cards, but some, student loan debt can have really high interest rates. Sell your RSUs, pay off your debt. Again, very sort of clear-cut, obvious use for the money. But beyond that, if you don't have a specific need for the money, great. You might not have a need now, but you're going to at some point in your future. And we might as well plan for that now while we've got all this extra money at our disposal. And this is where I would like to introduce the idea that I call an opportunity bucket. And the opportunity bucket is, in effect, it's just an investment account. It's a taxable brokerage account at some place like TD Ameritrade or Vanguard or Benjamin, where you save money and you invest it for that time, like 5 to 10 years from now, right? We're all keyed into our retirement. We're maxing out our 401ks and our IRAs. We're all keyed into what money we need right now in the next 1 or 2 years. But there's this vast in between where life's going to happen. Opportunities are going to arise. And even though we can't often predict right now what's going to happen in 5 years, something's going to happen. And when that something happens, it's going to be really nice just to have that money sitting there ready to be put to use to take advantage of the opportunity, right? Maybe in 5 years, you decide you want to have kids or stay home with your kids or go back to school or quit your job or move across the country or start a business. All those things are so much easier with a bucket of money sitting around waiting to support it. So while you have this extra RSU money, and if you don't have any specific needs for it now, save it to an opportunity bucket. Right? You are so going to thank yourself in 5 years when you've got the money to support some major life change, some huge opportunity that comes up that you could never have anticipated. So what does this look like in practice? I think this is fairly simple. You can yell at me if this is in fact complicated. Step one is just to create that investment account that we're going to call your opportunity bucket. It is a brokerage account, a taxable brokerage account, some name like that. At a place, as I said, like TD Ameritrade or Vanguard or Benjamin, right? So now we have this empty bucket. Now, go to where your RSUs are that have vested. Your company's stock plan is administered somewhere, right? It's at Fidelity or E-Trade or Schwab. That's where all your shares of your company stock are. Sell your company stock there, all the RSUs that have vested, and now you have cash. Move the cash into your opportunity bucket, and the last step is to invest it, right? Investing fairly conservatively, just because we might need the money in 5 years. If you're saving and investing for retirement, generally we're investing pretty aggressively because that's 30 years off. We've got plenty of time to recover from any stock market shenanigans. But if you're investing for money that you might need in 5 years, invest it more conservatively because we don't have all that much time to recover. And then you're done. You can rinse and repeat every time your RSUs vest, but that's just what you're doing. You're selling your RSUs and you're moving your cash into your brokerage account, your opportunity bucket, and you're investing it somewhat conservatively. So the main point is simply not to let your RSUs languish either as stock, company stock, because that's very risky, or as cash. That's risky in another way because cash doesn't gain in value, whereas everything else goes up in price. So you're just going to lose purchasing power, right? Inflation. But you don't have to do much to put your money to good use for you and your future. So again, I hope this has been helpful. My name is Meg from Flow Financial Planning. If you found this helpful, check out my blog. It's got all sorts of articles that are about topics relevant to women in the tech industry, and I will see you next time. Thanks again.